Hi, I'm Clare Monteau, helping leaders like you lead with heart and train your brain. Today, I wanted to talk about change and why it's so challenging for organizations and teams to do it well, and give you an action step to take to help your teams work through change more effectively. First of all, let's talk about why change is so difficult. So our brains are wired really to resist change. From our brain's perspective, change is a lot more work. It has to learn new things, it has to take in new information, and there's potentially a lot more danger. Whereas with something it's done many times before, it knows what to expect. There's no need to learn anything new. So it uses less energy to do something the same way. Let's take an example. Imagine that you are needing to book a conference room for a meeting. And you have two choices. You have a conference room that you have used many times and you have hooked up to the smart TV and you are familiar with it. The other choice is a new room that has a slightly different smart TV. For most people, they would choose the room that they knew. And this is because, quite simply, our brain knows it will use less energy to do so. It can predict what the outcome of that situation will be. It doesn't perceive any likely dangers. It doesn't need to learn anything new. Whereas, if an individual chooses to go to a new conference room, their brain is going to have to take in new information, assess the risks, look out for potential dangers. But you might say that you've seen some people who are good with change. Maybe you yourself enjoy the challenge of change. And some personalities do flourish in a change environment. They get on board quickly. And often what's happening there is that their enjoyment of newness, of novelty, of solving new problems outweighs the risk, the danger of something new. And for people like that, having people on their team who seem to be resisting change can add to the problems of change. The embracers of change can see those people who are slower to take on change as progress blockers and people who just seem to get in the way of making new improvements. The change resistors, on the other hand, can see the embracers as not thinking things through, that they're not being realistic about the problems that are coming up. And this can lead to team conflict and have it less likely that your team will move through change successfully. An important perspective for you as a leader is to recognize that we don't know people's intent behind behavior. So we may see someone resisting change and assume their intent is to get in the way of progress. However, it can often be that someone who's resisting change is simply trying to protect the integrity of the work. They want the team to be successful, they want the product quality to be high, and they recognize that change might put that at risk. They may see the embracers as going too fast. But again, we don't know the intent of those change embracers. We may see a change embracer and think, oh, they just want things to go fast, they just like the excitement, when what's there for them perhaps is really an intent to make the product better, to continue to create a growth environment, to continue to have the team overcome challenges. So both the intent behind the change resistor and the change challenger is actually a very positive thing. And as a leader, we want to recognize that. One action step you can take to help your teams embrace change more readily is to have your team, each individual, point out or examine, bring forward one positive aspect of this change or one potential positive aspect of this change. And then also have them each individually bring one potential downside, one potential challenge. And as the team shares these, be sure to acknowledge each of them equally. You're going to have some people who could come up with 20 pitfalls of a change and really struggle to come up with one positive. And equally, you'll have the opposite. So it's important as a leader to allow both to have space so that your whole team can be looking out for those potential good things, look out for those potential upsides of a change, and nourish them while being able to prepare for all of the challenges that are no doubt ahead. So I hope this helps and look forward to seeing you back here again.